Just want to make sure everything lines up. Hey guys, welcome to iNVision Prototypes. I'm Nick. Today's video is going to be all about garnish moldings. Garnish. We're going to be making the pieces that clean up all the areas around the window openings. And this is the back window, and I put the two marks on for the top fasteners. We have to make a few little brackets at the bottom to hold it in place. And then we can go ahead and finish this off. But I'll show you what we started with. Basically, I created these templates. This is for the A-pillar. This is for the area over the door, just like that. And then these two pieces, they're on the bench. I think we're gonna spend more time out of the car than in the car because it's really tight in here. We're gonna take and fabricate these pieces for the passenger side and make sure everything looks good. Then go ahead and do the driver's side afterwards. I'm starting with the fabrication around the back window, so we can get that one out of the way because that's the more difficult one to basically do. In terms of the interior, we're doing a final mock-up. Still doing sanding, lots of sanding, but taking a break from that and kind of doing a final mock-up of the interior. The ceiling liner, we split it across, just behind the head of the driver, passenger. It was a bit of a challenge to get it in and out the door. We ended up cutting it. We'll put a little cosmetic piece of trim through there. I don't know if it'd be chrome or just black it out and kind of make it disappear. Right now we have a few little screws holding it just temporarily. So let me clamber out of this car. Hopefully I don't bump anything on the way out, and finish up the back piece, get them mounted, and then go ahead and do the side pieces. Put these here. I've been in here too long. Holy smokes. This is going to be interesting. It's about a 2-foot drop. Whoa! Oh, it feels a lot better. I just cracked my back. Being crunched up in the car, not too good. Okay, so this is the template for the rear window molding. And I could have done this out of 4 pieces, the bottom, 2 sides, and the top. But I decided to make it out of 1 piece, give it a try, and see how it would turn out. And well, as you saw, it didn't look too bad. We still have a few things to do, but we're on our way with that. Started with a larger piece, obviously, cut out the center hole, and this shape corresponds to the rear speaker deck. In terms of your perspective, there's a shape on top of the rear deck that looks kind of like that. If you're curious to see how that speaker deck was done, click the link or the card up above, and it'll take you there. You can actually see the shape of that speaker deck. So anyway, decided to take and transpose this upward and make the molding, the garnish molding for the rear window, the same kind of shape. So we get to this piece here, and we start off again with a large piece of sheet metal, punched a hole out in the middle with enough allowance in here to reach up to the rear glass. So that all worked out well. The challenge was these corners here. It'd be very, very difficult using a kick shrinker to stretch that material there. So I removed it, and we'll just take and put filler pieces in there and here. There's a chance if you stretch this much, it'll tear. So what I have to do now is drill the 2 holes for the molding fasteners there, take and bend up some clips that will allow me to attach the bottom edge to the rear wall. And then we'll go ahead and run 1 final bead around the edge, give it a bit of a tuck so that it bites and fits tight up against the ceiling liner. We don't want any gaps along the top. That doesn't look too good, but when it kind of sinks into the foam with the ceiling liner, you have a nice consistent edge all the way along, it's going to look really good. We also have to do a little bit of hammer and dolly work, but I'm not going to get too crazy because this is going to be covered in foam and upholstered with leather. And then we'll get some special fasteners. They have a little washer on them, Phillips head screw. That'll pull this molding up into place and look like a factory piece. Let's make some holes. So what I normally use is a step bit because I can gauge how large of a hole I need. And for the size of screw I'm using, I need to go with the 2nd step. Helps if you back up the piece of metal with a piece of wood and not your finger. And the other thing is I don't like drilling into my portable bench. All right. With that done, I'll get another piece of sheet metal here. And I need to make some clips. Right on. Now, before I go ahead and weld those little pieces onto, or those clips onto this piece, I want to take and clean up the perimeter using the English wheel. Need to eliminate these burrs because we don't want these burrs getting into the anvils. Clean this up, roll an edge. Well, we can do that now. Take and mark a perimeter edge. So basically I'm stepping in about 5/16 of an inch. All the way along. And that's going to get kicked up using the tipping wheel. So I preset the tension of these wheels just to give me a bit of a compression force where I'm not actually rolling the panel up, I'm just allowing the wheels to do the work. Will it clear the camera stand? Oh, that was close. There we go. So just gave us a little bit of an edge. You know what? I'm going to roll it through one more time. Once I have this sitting in place the way I want it, then we'll go ahead and finish those corners up. Uh-oh, will it clear the camera stand? It better. Nothing's changed since we wheeled it the first time. Done. So as you can see, we've got this little flange that tipped over. I'm going to clean the edges up a little bit, wipe off the marks, and now we can go ahead and fit this into the car. All right, fit this in the car. Everything worked out well in there. I got the angle for these clips, tacked them on, welded them on. So now we can go ahead, punch a few holes in them, and then later on when we jump in the car, we'll make us some more cardboard templates for the corners, and we'll get those made up. But now we're going to move on to the area over the door, behind the door, and the A-pillar. Probably start with the one behind the door, get that one in, and then we can move forward. Okay, that's good. We're going to have to take and stretch this edge because this sits up vertically like this. This blends up into the ceiling. We need that to curve up that way. It's not doing that right now. But before we do that, while I'm at the tipping wheel, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing we did on the rear window trim and step that flange over so that it bites into the ceiling liner just a little bit. So we're going to take and tip a 5/16 flange over on this piece as well. Once we get all these pieces kind of fabricated, roughed in, then I'll jump into the car and kind of work with all of them instead of climbing in and out 25, 30 times. So there we go. I need to take and clean that edge up. We'll do that afterwards. Let's go to the shrinker and bring that around so that it fits the ceiling. The one thing about the kick shrinker is you always get these little bite marks in your panel. I'll show you a way, an easy way to clean that up once we have the curvature that we need. I keep repeating my words. And I think I have a way that we can try this piece without actually climbing into the car. So this here, we got the moldings installed on the outside of the window areas and the rubber seal. Now that tape kind of came off. It's holding that up in place. So there's the inner one that came off. So The tape has lost its stiction. So I need to bring the bottom in a little more so it moves to the outside of the car, and I've overdone the amount of stretch on the top. So we'll shrink the top, stretch the bottom. Be right back, don't run away. Oh, oops, yeah, no, that looks much better. Yeah, right, oops, right there. That's what I was after. So the tape has come off, so let us move on to the top piece and the front A-pillar cover, and then we'll jump in the car and start fine-tuning this. This is a really easy way of cleaning up a flange, the bite marks in the flange. Just roll it through your English wheel, use the bottom anvil, and fit it into your radius, and just roll it through with light pressure, because we don't want to adjust the curvature that we have. We just want to take out any little bumps. Now, if you don't have an English wheel, hammer and dolly work just as well. That's it. Nicely smoothed out. All the bumps are gone. We're going to start with the A-post cover, A-pillar cover, and get that in. This one's a little more complicated than that piece. We have this curvature that fits the dash. This goes up against the window area, and this is the windshield. And this fits up inside the ceiling liner. You can use a hammer and dolly and accomplish the same thing, or have a lower, like, railroad iron anvil and roll it over that. I've shown that in the past. Kind of alternate methods if you don't have tipping wheels, bead rollers. There's always more than one way to skin a cat. I don't recommend skinning any cats. It's just too violent. Trickiest part is going to be to stretch this flange here to allow that corner to sit the way it needs to. And I think before we go any further up, I'm going to go to this shrinker stretcher and stretch that while it's still in this plane. Because once I get it up, the radius won't allow me to get it into the stretcher. No, I haven't forgotten about that wireframe buck there. We have a few more videos that we're going to finish up in that series, but right now we're kind of slammed, so that'll come. Now that looks really, really bad, but have no fear. We'll clean that up and you won't even tell anything was done. What I've done though, is I've stretched that flange. That's why it's kind of wandering around, because it doesn't know what to do. It's it's fighting itself. Let's go to the tipping wheel and roll it up. Okay, line this up, just roll it through. Okay, one pass, and we got most of that straightened out. We need to go up a little bit higher. If you're paying attention, you know what we're about to do, or what we could try and do. Unfortunately, this radius won't fit in the English wheel. The upper wheel is too large of a diameter to have that fit. So we need to go manual school, hammer and dolly, smooth it out. Now, rather than try and hold a dolly from behind, we're going to use the bench here. A 3/4 inch plate with a 1/4 inch angle on the front face that rolls back. Okay, a little better. I still can't get all the way in to clean that up, so I think we're going to use a dolly. And just like that, it's all done. We're going to go stretch this, because this curves up into the roof just like that rear piece. Okay, so this is the A-pillar for the passenger side, the A-pillar cover. Got the hole drilled where the fastener is going to go. You'll hardly see this fastener because you'll be covered with 1/8 foam. the leather, and the fastener will sink down into the leather. It'll look nice and clean. That one's done. This piece extends back from the rear of the door into the rear window area. So we're gonna get that fabricated. This is about the easiest one because it is a straight line. If you can run a straight line through the tipping wheel, and the reason I say tipping wheel instead of the brake is because I need to maintain the same radius for all the garnish moldings all the way around. So get that in place, like that. Now I did notice that we have a little bit of excess material here. Just want to trim up the tail. We might actually trim this tail off, but that little bit of a deviation in the line bothered me. So there we go. Let's roll that through the tipping wheel too. Oh, that's looking good. Boom. That's it. I need to give this a little bit of curvature. Trusty rubber mat, slapper, and a heavy hammer. Yeah, that'll do it. So I can't put this through the English wheel. I could have, but I put these lines in. I don't want to create a curve. I just want to dish it. So could have put it in the rubber wheel, but just do the same thing. The face of this dolly is curved this way, so that'll give us the curvature that we need. And just like that, it's finished. Told you, that was an easy piece. Now for the not so easy piece, the part over the door. That's the front, F, passenger side out, so that's going to sit like that. 8 pillars here, and the rear of the window's there. So we need to take and tip over an inch of material on the underside so it mates up with the rubber seal, and then the top will give it that little bit of a bend so it bites into the ceiling liner. Bending everything up is fun, it's nice, looks easy, but then you need to make sure that everything conforms to the curvatures within your roof structure, roof panel, interior. When we bend this radius here is going to create a curvature in the wrong direction for us. So then we're going to have to take and correct that. But for now, all I'm doing is rolling an edge. What do they say about a squeaky wheel? Tell you what I say. It means we're running the tipping wheel. You see how the panel is curving downward. We need to curve the other way. One more time. That's much better, see? So this is actually going to curve into the cab. We need to go outward. Let's do that little flange. I mentioned this before, when you run it through equipment like this, you sometimes end up with the end. So this is a nice crisp edge. This is what we need. You end up with kind of a soft radius here. And we need to correct that, flatten that out a little bit. That's why I run the panels a little bit longer than necessary. and then trim back on them, because this mess here, it basically starts correctly at this point and moves on. So we'll cut it off there. Or you could bump it like that. All right, let's get this in to the car. Actually, no, let's not. Let's stretch this edge. And instead of using the kick shrinker, I'm going to use the wheel, the English wheel, and stretch this. It'll give me a more consistent curve. And with the English wheel, we won't have any bite marks to deal with to clean up later on. So I'm going to start in the middle. Ooh, I can see it moving already. That's a good thing. Now this end has a little more radius this way, and therefore it bulged out more. So we have to correct that without pinching our fingers. There we go. So now we have a curvature, actually too much of a curvature through here. Not a problem. We can go shrink it and get some bite marks. It is almost lunchtime. Now you can see I'm not taking my foot and mashing it down, just easing into it. This here has a bit of a bulge out yet. Done. See, hardly any bite marks there at all. It's almost smooth. Okay, let's go fit this. I actually forgot one more piece, and that's the one that goes over the front of the windshield. So the header piece there. We've got the A-pillar, and then we have this piece that covers that structural member in front there over the windshield. So this is just about there. I need to clean up the edge a little bit. I didn't have enough curvature outward, so I had to do some stretching to give it that extra curve. Didn't want to waste a piece, so we managed to get that resolved. And now, just like I said, I need to clean up that edge, and we'll get it installed once the A-pillars are in. So starting with the back piece, I've got the spotlight on me, and hard to see that way, but I need to illuminate this for you guys, and well, we'll see what we can do about not staring into the light. Okay. Wow, that's very good. Let's get this pinned. You don't want to come through the ceiling or through the roof panel. So I have to double check and make sure that we have enough space. Ouch! The studs for the center console were just underneath my knee. All right, so with that located, let me see that. You need to make an adjustment for that. Oops. Now we're gonna get sanding dust inside the cabin. Shoot. Okay, so the reason you guys can't see it, that side came out really well. This side we have a bit of space right here, and it's because that corner is missing. We don't have the strength to keep that up, so we'll have to adjust that once we put the corners in. Okay, let's move on to these pieces here. I'm sorry I can't be more accommodating for you guys in here. Good thing we're not doing a sports car, because those have zero room inside. Okay, see that? Need to make one little adjustment on this piece here. But aside from that, we're fitting really well on the door seal up above there, as well as down here. Give it a bit of a twist, like that, and straighten it out. So, in installing these panels, I'm gonna have to make an extra hole. I want to pin this panel first and then take and run in this piece here that goes to the back. But I have to cut this. And I want the fastener for this panel to hold this one as well. So we'll fill that hole afterwards. Ow. There. Good. Okay. Cut that off, get rid of that, shorten it, and then we'll fit it in the rest of the way. Now, what say we install the front A-pillar cover? Can you guys see that? I don't think so. I'm going to reposition the camera so you can see that better. When I jump out, I'll cut that piece and bring the snips so I can cut off the bottom of that. Trim up this piece, and then we'll make sure to throw the shaving on the floor so you can kneel on it. Good. That'll get drawn down. We'll put the fastener in for the top piece. I think, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I talk to myself sometimes. It helps. We have a conundrum. I need a left-handed drill. I'm right-handed, and this just doesn't feel right in my left hand. What can we do? Tips on left-handed drills, guys? Going in at an angle, you need a really sharp screw. Beautiful. Sometimes if a screw's been used more than once, it doesn't cut too well. All right, top piece. Keep going. Oh, did I even bring it? Oh no. Oh no. It's on the bench. All right, let's install this piece here. Oh, wow. I'm liking that a lot. It's mating up to the rubber seal very nicely, as well as to the windshield. Now, we do have a little thing here. That's, okay, that'll be fine. Good. That's good. That's good. Now, I hope our screw's long enough to reach a structural pillar. Somewhere in here I have a longer screw, but I need to be able to drill into it. Oh, yes. Now, I need that longer screw. Which I just dropped on the floor somewhere. Got it. Right on. I'm just kicking myself because I brought the template for some reason, but I didn't bring the piece. All right. I do have the front part. Okay. I'm wondering. We will be creating a center console area here for sunglasses, to hold your drink. I'm kidding. No, they're going to hold your drinks up here. And actually, the guy doesn't want cup holders in his car. He doesn't want anybody eating or drinking in the car. And I commend him for that, because you always get an accident. Okay, we're a little bit long. When I stop for a bite to eat, you get out of the car and eat. Nothing worse than a big gulp getting dumped all over your floor. Uh-oh. I need a longer screw. So we're going to grab the piece over the door, as well as a couple longer screws, so we can pin it up there. Okay, armed with a longer screw, problem solved. Now we're going to put a screw in there, pin those together, and then we'll take it out, roll this back edge upward so that it conforms to all the other edges that come around. Isn't that, oh, right there. That's butter. Smooth, nice. Look at that. No screws either. So the only thing I want to do is clean up this radius as it blends into the rear panel. Just kind of soften it up a little bit. Okay, you're going down the road, get the wind coming in the car, glances off this panel here, and it catches on the leading edge of this back panel. You don't want that. You want the wind to glance off the front, off the back, and onto this panel here and into the back. If you ever install siding on a house, look at the wind-bearing side and look at how the siding is installed, which way the joints are flowing. We want the same thing in here. One screw left. Let's not waste this one. And I don't think that's too bad for not having to jump in out of the car 25, 30 times. We will have to take it all apart and make some final adjustments. And then I guess I'll bring you guys in once everything's wrapped and installed for the final time. So with this side all wrapped up, now I have to move on to the other side, get that side in. At that point, we can go ahead, disassemble everything and clean up. Like, you'll probably never see that I take off a 1/16 of an inch off of that area there or readjust this curvature back in here. So I'll bring you guys in when we go to install the interior for the final time. All these pieces are going to be wrapped, finished, and ready for final installation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's not, I guess, as exciting as a lot of other stuff that we've been doing with the English wheel, but you know, when you do build a car, you get instances like this where you have to create moldings. Complex, simple, it has to be done. We got this done. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our channel. Take care.